So, it's been a while since I played World War II German tanks in particular, those steel behemoths. All the might in their guns and their armor. What possibly can go wrong? Remember, kids, the love might be fake, but the tears are real. Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. It's been a while since I actually played World War II German tanks, and I always have a love for them. And why not combine this with also making a video again? Because that also has been a while. So on the right you can see the Ferdinand with the dislike camouflage, and on the left hand side the premium battle pass reward, the Elefant. There are some add-on tracks, not that much difference, same gun, same horsepower, but different ammunition count, interestingly enough. The Ferdinand previously had more than now its current 38 rounds, and also in the X-ray there are still more rounds displayed, so that is really a little bit of a mystery, because I'm quite sure it had around either 50 or 48, something like this, but it only has now 38 available, and that is probably the main difference between them, aside from the premium status of the Elefant. Now let's talk about the gun, because that is obviously the famous, infamous, glorious Long 88, the one and only Pak 43 L71. Now the gun handling on this tank is not that great, but it's not that terrible either. You still have 8 degrees of gun depression, you still have a very high rate of fire. In fact, it's a higher rate of fire than on the Tiger 2, which has at best 7.5 seconds. Here, thanks to a larger crew compartment and 2 loaders, we actually go down to 6.7 seconds, and that might make the difference here and there. Then we obviously have to talk about the ammunition. We have the Panzergranate 3943, which is the stock APCBC round and the one that you always should use, or in like 99% of cases. 1,000 meters per second mass velocity is really great for hitting targets at long range. At short range, point blank range, you have 237 millimeters of penetration. 1,000 meters still 207 millimeters, and at 2,000 meters 181 millimeters. There is just no myth to demystify, and you also have a quite potent bursting charge of just under 109 grams of TNT equivalent. Then, as the second stock shell, you have the Sprenggranate 43 HE shell, not that important, 802 meters per second mass velocity, 40 millimeters of penetration. The Tier 2 upgrade, the Hochladungsgranate 39 Heat round, has 646 grams of explosive mass, being a TNT equivalent of 1.1 kilogram, and that with a 600 meters per second mass velocity is astonishingly slow. And then we have 110 millimeters of penetration, being great versus SPA. Then the tier 4 upgrade is the Panzergranate 4043 APCR round, and there are very limited situations where this shell is actually useful. It has the highest mass velocity with 1130 meters per second, and it has 279 millimeters of penetration, so significantly better than the Panzergranate 3943 at first glance. But the performance versus angled armor is very bad, as well as the post-penetration damage effect. Then we quickly have to talk about the armor and survivability, which are actually pretty good. And the last clip, which will roll in just a few minutes, will actually show this, because I survive a surprising amount, just like I will do here in this scene. And now this is just a shooting gallery. This is like shooting fish in a barrel. I basically have the front line of the entire enemy team flanked, and I will take no prisoners here. Every shot is a one shot, and that is just absolutely stunning. So 200 millimeters at the front with barely any weak spot, even the lower glacis, while having less armor. Behind that there is not the transmission actually. To be honest, there are the engines in the front, and yes, I said engines, and you also have 6 crew, and the ammunition doesn't blow up as prominently as on the Tiger 2. And yeah, that was a nasty hit here with the heat round from the M46, I think. That is nasty. I have to get a better angle and hope I can reload despite being down to 2 crew before he can re-engage me. He takes a bit too long and I knock him out. Beautiful. And I could continue this with the Bandkanonenwagen, but the problem is Death Star is aiming at me and it's not the G8N1. And the funny thing is, I could survive this. I could have survived this. Watch the kill cam. That is quite painful. Yeah, I was down to 2 crew and only 1 was knocked out. So with 3 crews, I might have survived it, but the gun barrel would have been out. Now this scene is interesting because this is the first tank after like 5 minutes of driving, and it illustrates just the not so great part about city fights, because redeploying with this tank is not great. Why? Because it is a 65-ton tank. It's a 65-ton wall of steel with also a complete around 80 millimeters of side and rear armor. So it's quite tanky, but it only has 530 horsepower, giving it a horsepower to ton ratio of 8.15. That is pretty bad. The top speed is also quite limited with only 31 kilometers forwards, but surprisingly equally fast in reverse, and that might surprise some enemies. And that was really bad shooting. I was really distracted here, and now everything comes together. SBA knocking out my gun barrel, and that's just not nice. And this illustrates how important even a light machine gun would be. I could knock out this guy or make him retreat, knock out the gunner, and then also even destroy the M16. But I don't have it, and maybe the Elephant will make up for this, if the machine gun works, that is. Just as I pull the trigger, it gets knocked out, and the shell blows up in the barrel apparently. So the Elephant will have the same horsepower to ton ratio. Now, why is that so bad? Well, you do very badly cross country, you have very bad acceleration, but even more crucially, you also turn very, very badly, despite having here this neutral steering. And yeah, a tank that, you know, plays around with being very survivable, getting hit, it always knocks things out, and repair times are long, and that is really annoying. So here I really desperately want to knock this guy out. Now you can blame me here all you want for quote-unquote spawn camping, but I drove here, you know, for minutes without seeing anything. The entire enemy team was obliterated on the other side, and oh, my beautiful Thunder League skin is now literally shot up. Look at this. And that's the advantage, that those SBA, they can't do anything. That is quite funny, actually. They try, but they can't. And I would love to play this tank at long range, even angle it, being a little bit hull down, you know, and just yuking it out with other tanks that have a lot of armor. I would love this, but city fights are disproportionately more likely. What I try to do here in particular is to turn around and then back off against the wall so they can't circle around me, and then eventually I will actually hit someone of those. But a Tiger 2H actually comes to the rescue and blows up one of the... No, actually not yet. He actually missed on the move. But yeah, there he knocks out M42. And the second one has the biggest cover available in War Thunder, which is my tank. So, and I also have a nasty repair time. So it was like 40 seconds. Yeah, and now they're playing Ring Around the Rosie. Yeah. And that was stupid. could have had him here. But wait for it, and there we go. And now I just reverse into this guy, and yeah, the collision model in War Thunder, not great. but the Tiger II will demonstrate in just a second how important the light machine gun is, as he kills the M19A1, it actually is, with a light machine gun. Our victory is short-lived though, because Cass. It's not fun. Cass is not fun. Now, can I hide in this tank from Cass? I don't think so. Anyway, this tank can be glorious and it can be frustrating. It can be the worst, it can be the best. I think there are some of the most incredible battles played with this tank, but I think the glory days are over. And that's it for me today in the Ferdinand, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. You know how to subscribe, how to like this video, share this with your friends, clanmates, and whoever else you can annoy with this link, and we'll see each other as usual on the waves in the skies and on the battlefields of War Thunder.